The wait, though I doubt there was much, is finally over. It's time to talk about the most terrifying children's movie since Watership Down, Coraline. Now, last video, I said that I wasn't sure if I was going to do a play-by-play or an overall review. Well, I decided, and I'm going to do a play-by-play. The review overall will be there, but it'll be much smaller. There won't be much character or any character talk or like overall plot stuff. It's just kind of, I talk about what I like about how the movie looks. Spoiler. It's just, I don't want this video to be too long, so that's how it's going to be. Hey, I'm real close to 100 subs, so if you enjoy, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, let's get into the video. We start off with reconstruction surgery of a doll by an interesting set of hands. The doll goes from black to white. I think I've seen this before. In the biz, we call this the Michael Jackson treatment. Or if you're on the streets, we call it going all Sammy Sosa. The doll's sent on its way and we arrive at this dull gray home. Now, I'll go into more detail about the style later, but I must say, this establishing shot gives us a great view of how Coraline sees the world. Dull, gray, and boring. We then get our first shot of Coraline, who looks a lot like the doll from the beginning.
Coincidence? I think not!
She travels to a new land, assaults a cat, and gets spooked by Ghost Rider. We get two forms of foreshadowing.
Then where's the secret well?
You stomp too hard and you'll fall in it. Won't rent to people with kids.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about it.
And a nice transition. We meet the parents that drive Coraline's miserable attitude, and I honestly would hate to have parents like that. Anyway, Coraline gets a doll that looks just like the one from earlier.
Coincidence? I think not!
Same joke twice? Same joke twice. Coraline's dad sends her on her way on an important quest, which results in her finding an unimportant door that's sealed off. We go off to bed, only to find out there's a rodent issue. They lead her to the door, which is now a tunnel, and that's just way too sus to crawl through. I don't know. We arrive at the other side of the door, and yep, that's strike two on the sus pitch. We do get a quick banger though, so my guard is a little down because that song slapped.
Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a doll, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute as a button in the eyes of everyone who ever laid their eyes on Coraline. When she comes around exploring, Mom and I will never ever make it boring. Our eyes will be on Coraline.
And the fact that the food plus the presentation of said food looks this good, I'm conflicting. Though, who the hell asks for a mango milkshake? Is that a thing? Am I missing out? Please let me know. We get back up to this bland world with blue monkey slippers. Coraline is sent off to meet the neighbors downstairs, but first she must deliver the cheese to Mr. Bobinski, who for some reason has my favorite line.
До свидания, Caroline.
I don't know why it's my favorite, I just really like the line. We then get a moment that will make any normal guy wince, and Coraline gets a warning from the mice. That's warning number 1. We finally reach downstairs where we meet the two has-beens who have a thing for taxidermy, and they're also psychics. One says danger, the other says love, so we get 2 warnings of danger after a very sus night. We come across YB hunting for slugs, then we get our 3rd warning of danger, when it's revealed that YB's grandmother's sister disappeared in Coraline's apartment. So naturally, Coraline would heed these warnings, right? No, she's a dum-dum. We go to the other world where we get a scene in this gorgeous garden made in Coraline's image, and another feast. And, you know, I do criticize the fact that she's getting all these warnings, because, you know, I know what's going to happen. I've seen this movie 1,000 times, but honestly, if that was me, it's like every time I think this place is sus, they show me things that then want to make me say, wow, I wish I was her. I mean, the food looks so good! Anyway, Mute YB and Coraline head up to Bobinski's and witness a top-notch rat show, and then they go to the next day. It's another dull day, but this time Coraline's all alone, so we get some midday other mother time. Oh my god, do I even have to say it? That food looks so good! Coraline, on her way to the old lady's apartment, comes across the cat, and unlike Wybie, this one can talk. The cat uses its voice to give another warning.
You probably think this world is a dream come true, but you're wrong.
Nothing to that clip again, I just remember it so clearly from the trailers. But anyway, I think that's our 4th warning, and this one is in the other world, so, you know, maybe consider leaving. We arrive downstairs and, oh my god. I remember watching this with my parents as a 6-year-old, and even then, I knew that this scene was causing some tension. I mean, that is almost full frontal nudity. It practically is. I mean, you're only covering up the nipples, you know? The women then shed like snakes and do some grade A trapezing. Even Coraline gets in on it, and the show ends, and judging by the other Wybie's face, there's an issue.
Black is traditional.
And that, my friends, that is strike 3. Unfortunately, it's too late to opt out, and Coraline is now trapped, and this is when the terror meter, not the spook meter, because spooks are fun, terror is not. The terror meter is cranked up to 100. The cat catches up to Coraline, and it's revealed not only how small the world truly is, but how nasty its true colors are. Coraline tries to sneak out, but is cut off by the other mother. Coraline gets hostile, and I don't even know, I don't have the words to describe this. It's so, ugh. That thing yeets Coraline through a mirror, and we meet the other kids, each of which had a similar beginning to Coraline being miserable, but they had a much more grim end. Although, I do have one question. Can those kids see? I mean, she took their eyes, and I don't know the logistics of the buttons to eyes on normal humans. So, like, are they blind? They face the right way, they go in her direction correctly, but they still don't have eyes. So, you know. Let's move on. Coraline gets rescued by other Wybie, but unfortunately, he can't go with her. A true hero. She gets home safely, but something's off. Real Wybie arrives, but obviously he doesn't believe Coraline's tale, which is understandable. I mean, if she just opened the door, just for a split second, it might have convinced him, but I do think that it's a little too risky to open. Coraline goes back to the ladies in the basement, and they give her this seeing tool, which leads me to another question. That looks like it's made out of some type of stone, kind of like marble, but it came out of a hard candy jar. Well, I guess that's more of an observation than a question, but still.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad.
Okay, that's low-key heartbreaking. I'm not even gonna lie. Mr. Cat wakes up Coraline and shows her where her parents are. That's tough. Now, this may not be the best time to say this, but if she would have just listened to the warnings, none of this would have happened. Just saying. Coraline goes back to the other mother and challenges her to a scavenger hunt. If she finds the eyes of them kids, their souls are set free and she gets her fan back. She also has to find out where her parents are actually hidden. Damn. The other father, he really let himself go. You hate to see it. Don't do drugs, kids. Okay, again, not the right time. But damn, that food looks so good. The other mother practically tells her where they are, the souls, not the parents, but it's not going to be that easy. We first go to the garden where the power of triangles is finally revealed, and the other father, like Wybie, sacrifices himself for the greater good. Another hero. That's 2. Rest in paradise, boys. Anyway, that's 1 kid down, 2 to go. Or would it be 1 eyeball? Or would it be 1 pair of... Or would it... We get to the lady's apartment, which is significantly more terrifying than the garden. Dog bats, slimy cartoon monsters. I'm all set with that. But lastly, we get to Bobinski. And I don't know what they did with the actual like body of Bobinski, but he's a rodent puppet, which is disgusting. It's kind of like in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when Bathilda Bagshot was actually controlled by Nagini. If you know any of you are Harry Potter fans and Coraline fans, I'm hitting a small niche there, I know, but believe me, there's got to be one of you, or two if you count me. Unfortunately, after her wrestling, I don't know, she didn't really fight him, with Bobinski, she loses not only the triangle, but the ball. Fortunately, though, Mr. Cat is there to get at least the ball, and kind of saves it. The ball is definitely more valuable than the triangle, at the very least. The world starts to crumble, and they go in to make the final stand. Okay, how did she manage to get grosser? Like, dude, what? She destroys the tool that Coraline had, and she does some quick thinking. Coraline, not the mom, to steal her parents. She tricks the other mother into unlocking the door, throwing up the key, which, disgusting. And then she has a nice little combo move with the cat, Whoop! You know what I'm saying? The cat rips out her eyes, and yet again, it just gets even worse. The whole room just turns into a spider web. The other mother, with no eyes now to make her even better looking, sure, just turns into a spider practically, climbing up all that web. But luckily, we escape by the hair on our chinny chin chin. The movie ends, and all is well.
Psych!
You're in terrible danger, girl.
Mother actually sent her hand spider to retrieve the key. Okay. Again, question. How does that eye see? Or hand? Obviously an eye can see. Do they need... Do things in this movie, do they even need eyes? Like, it seems like everyone without eyes can see. Like, I understand all those little puppets and otherworld people, but like, the kid souls who don't have eyes, that hand, it makes no sense. I don't get it. Anyway, the hand pulls a sneak attack, but YB comes in with the nice save. Now, all is officially well. This movie is superb. The story is brilliant and so original. I will say though, compared to the story of the book, if I remember correctly, it's a lot scarier in the book and actually had to be toned down. There's also no YB. But back to the movie, let's talk about the art. First of all, this movie is entirely stop motion. In fact, the guy who made it actually was a huge contributor to The Nightmare Before Christmas. He wasn't the director, if I recall correctly, it's Tim Burton, but he did the stop motion. And this movie took 20 months, almost 2 years just to film. And I'd say it was 100% worth it. Right from the start, we get this amazing contrast between the other world and the normal one. I also like how the normal one starts out gray and dull, but by the end has a noticeable change and addition to color. And the other world starts out all colorful, but underneath all that fluff, it's just a gray, dark world of puppets. The only bad thing, and it's not even really bad, it's just kind of a nitpick, is that the final part of the movie where she's getting the eyeballs and stuff, it went by kind of fast. Like, I remember it might be because, kids have short attention spans, so you might have to speed up the pace a little bit, but it only took like 8 minutes for her to get all the eyes. But like I said, it's just a nitpick. This movie, like I said earlier, also really sells the other world. I mean, I knew what was going to happen in the movie, and I still probably would consider going back even now. I mean, that food just looks so good! But the terror that sets in during the climax is wild. All these things turning into dust and like dying, the mother just going crazy. It's just, it's spooky, But overall, it's a 10 out of 10. It's amazing. There'll never again be a Halloween classic as good as Coraline. The art, the story, the characters, just all mesh so beautifully. I can't put it into any more words. Anyway, I think we should wrap this up. Video's getting a little lengthy. Now I know I've had a 29-minute video before, but that took me like 8 hours to edit, and I really just did not enjoy doing that. So I hope you understand why this video's, or no videos since then, have been that long. Anyway, like, subscribe, put on post noties, because I don't want you to miss a video. And 100 subs is so close. I'll see you guys next time, and remember, if you find a doll that looks exactly like you, burn that shit.